Thank you. Okay, we're getting ready to start. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and start introducing myself. I'm Donna Whitlock, the Central City Neighborhood President. I lived downtown for quite a while. I retired from UAB, so I'm vested in the city. I love it. And appreciate y'all coming tonight and explaining some of the changes you want to make. But I just want to touch on the basics of etiquette as far as the meeting. If you have something to say, raise your hand. Once I call on you, you have that opportunity to speak. But don't forget, there's about 8. There can be, people behind you. So once you finish your initial, then we're going to go ahead and let the other people speak, and we'll get back to you. Okay, that's just being courteous to the other people. Okay, we've got about 2 more minutes. And I'm sorry if we seem confused. Normally we're on the back, so we're just we're up there, which this is fine. And it's actually the setup that library's done is beautiful. And also I found out the library is now open till 8 on Tuesday nights. So we can really talk. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Call the meeting to order. Let's call our meeting to order. I need a second.
No.
Okay, we don't. Okay, I'm so confused. Okay. Okay, tonight we're going to have some votes that we're going to be doing, and also we've got. I want to go ahead and see if we have approval of the agenda minutes from the last meeting that was mailed out.
I think we need a roll call of the officers first. Roll call of the officers.
Yeah, we have 2 officers here. Hannah's out of town. Donna Whitlock, I'm president, and this is Daniel. Daniel, this is Paul. Our VP, and tonight he's being indoctrinated. So I'm excited about that for him. Okay, so approval of our last minute, our meeting minutes that we sent out. Okay.
If you're a second.
I'm second. And you're gonna get all this as we go. Yeah, you can write it on that. Yeah, but I'm gonna get my pen on. All right. Our speakers tonight are listed on your agenda, but I'm going to go ahead and get the fire department to come up and speak first, because the last couple times they've been called out on emergencies, and I don't want them to be standing here and have to leave us. So come on, guys. And all in favor of our minutes? Sorry, I'm off my schedule. Okay. Anybody opposed? I know they got to squeak in.
How are y'all tonight? I'm Lieutenant Gas, Station 1. I'm just here to answer any questions y'all have for the fire department. I don't really have anything for you tonight. Yes, ma'am, we are giving out free smoke detectors. If y'all need one, come by and get one.
What we need you to install?
Yeah, we install them too.
So,
I should just let her talk for me.
well, no, I think it's a great thing, and not every city offers this. So if you have a block, condo, whatever, your house, and you need a smoke detector, I just get so sad when I see areas that are covered by us and they don't have smoke detectors and have fire when it's so cold in the winter, and this is a free service. And I just think we really need to utilize that. Okay. No statistics on how many homes I've met.
I don't have anything right now. I just told about 30 minutes to get over here.
Yes, sir.
Probably know what he's talking about.
Is that the nightclub? Did we know?
Is that the south side? Oh, they're across from a cookout? Okay. No, I don't. That was not on my list. Sorry.
Anybody else got any questions? I'd just like to take the opportunity on behalf of Central City and tell you guys how much we appreciate the hard work you do. And they really do out there in the heat and the homeless and all the situations you get into. I
Well,
appreciate
thank you.
you so much.
If y'all have any questions, I don't have all the answers, but I have a telephone list in my phone. I can put you in with the right person.
Thank you.
Y'all-
Thank you so much. Okay. Let me go ahead, and Margaret, explain that. She's from Birmingham.
Most- Worried about-
Sorry, this been sitting there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna check and you can move it under you. But, oh. My. Look better? She just.
And, the funds.
Yep. Huh? Okay.
And we have our programming and events, there's a lot there. And we encourage you to purchase a ticket on a website and, encourage your friends and family to come as well. This is our second annual plastic cocktails. Last year we had about 200 people come out, and it was tons of fun. We've got a lot of events going on around Sherman. The ones next that I wanted to, point out to you is, this exhibit installation behind you. This is Smithsonian exhibit, the installation part is set up here, and the final part is set up at the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute. I encourage you to take a minute, when you're on this meeting to, take a look at the installation. And after you see this installation, you can get a wristband, or circulation dose, and that will get you in free to the Connex part of the exhibit that's from the Civil Rights. There are also, there's also a new exhibit on the fourth floor in our fourth floor gallery. That there's a jury exhibit, that opens on Saturday. Done by paperwork is selected, and it will be out on the fourth floor, during business hours at the library, until I think October 16th. On Thursday, October 5th, our city wide insurance and healthcare. If you would like a flyer, I'll have a few flyers out together. And then on Saturday, Friday, October 6th, we have, our monthly bars and brews event, which will take place at Power Brewing downtown. It will feature, it's an open mic. It will be open to employees who want to perform. And then we'll also have like a guest, delegate. Encourage you to come to. Finally, we're having, a trio of concert all in one night on October Friday 13th. And, it's free, and it's with us here to concert in our lab at the library, series of concerts. I'm gonna read some flyers up here. Thank you so much. And, you know, sometimes we take for granted, we have neighbors that have families, small children, or, you know, they're always looking for somewhere to go. And what better place to be able to come here, free entertainment, and really help us promote the library. I call this one of the best kept secrets. People have forgotten how important they are to us. Anybody got any questions for Margaret? And then we'll just read from here. Okay, we've got some old business, new business. And then we've got some, Michael's here from Rep Birmingham, and he's gonna come after we do these votes, so we're gonna go ahead and have the, we end up having two signages that's gonna be presented. I thought we had one. So we're gonna do the first is gonna be the Renaissance Building. Representative, you're gonna come out for that? Yes. Yes, I'm sorry, I haven't seen you. You kind of quit sneaking in. Sorry, you get 5 more minutes to sit down. Yes,
I'm Velma Williams, and I'm the property condition officer for the Birmingham Police Department. Appreciate. And it's either I got some brochures to give you a better idea of what I actually do if you are in need of a safety inspection for your house, to make sure that you have all of your safety gadgets and procedures in place. Like you have to come out and check on some of your businesses. My brand that you know, where there are vulnerable filters in your station plan. I also do trainings, safety. As a matter of fact, last week I was going for Jefferson County Library. So we did trainings here, we did active shooting, we did all kinds of stuff. So make sure that you utilize the resource that's called Velma Williams. Okay? The other thing I want you to know is that there's an opportunity for you to share with the police department what we call faith and which is an opportunity for the faith community to show how much they appreciate and support the men and women in the group. So we ask that you consider attending a prayer breakfast on October the 7th, which will be held at the New Hope Baptist Church on Claiborne Avenue. And there's also a shameless plug for inside your brochure. Okay. So with that, unless you have questions for me, I have another meeting.
Miss Williams, may I have, Miss Williams, may I have, may I have one question?
Oh, I thought I was sorry.
Thank you.
You can have two. Boom.
You want to speak in the mic?
The 40 EPs last month, 1 EP this month, we did have 2 arrests. One of the individuals was charged with 10 vehicle break-ins. I believe the other one was 4, if I remember the number correctly on that. So that's all about 14 cases, and there were only 5 here, but they were being posted also around town. They're kind of walking the whole business district, looking for vehicles. Also keep in mind, you have a Hyundai or a Kia. If the dealerships are doing recall on those because they are being stolen pretty much nationwide, because they found a easy way to steal them evidently and put it on YouTube, and now anybody that's brave enough to go steal a car, it's a great idea to go steal a car, will be out stealing them. So just be aware that if you do have one of those vehicles, get with the dealership, there's a recall, and they will fix the issue so they forget other than that,
How long did this stay? We have two.
that's not up to me. That's up to the district attorney. I think that's not up to us. It depends on the multitude of things, whether they post a bond, and if they're given a bond, their priors, a plethora of how long they could, they may or may not. So it just depends on what the totality of the situation.
I spoke with Captain Hanks today, and I think these 3 have been, 3 that they have arrested, for several weeks because of their wrong criminal history.
Yeah.
So they've been there for a while. And then also back to the cars, we're not looking at the law.
Yes, I believe we still do
So
that.
you have the, or the other one, you can go to the police station, if you
Yeah.
want to take your gun number and get a,
It's like stop a way to help prevent people.
for your own vehicle.
Sorry.
The floor keep going down, back, get 6 break-ins, the period of 6 days. My understanding
There are some beef. No, we're gonna have somebody walk in this biggest issue with that. Probably get another unit. Don't want somebody out on the street, somebody who's been arrested and then tried to have walk them somewhere. It's very difficult. They do have high control. It's been placed downtown during these days. They just got their new bikes this week. So they can see those out a lot more. Well, it does do something good during the day. It's not as great as we are working on. I thought that next time with the weather being about the riding bikes. We're trying to use them where they're riding down while the entertainment district is going. And at night when you get home from work and things of that nature, you're going out to eat. You don't want your car moving into, but we are trying to get that set up to get them moving downtown. Our the business district while business. Plans. Yeah.
And when did you say that the break-ins were this weekend, Saturday night? Because I got an email from somebody that lives in Gallery, and they had break-ins down, I guess, by Devon down in that too. So I did talk to Captain about that today as well.
First thing, 22nd. This is all.
I know that it's a national, and this is everywhere. I just wish there was some way. I told y'all that Vanessa at the Watts building heard somebody claiming it and raised her bedroom window and screamed, "What are you doing?" And they took off running. They were trying to break into a car. So
I'll tell you, here's the biggest thing. If you're leaving your wallet, your computer, your gun in your car, don't do it. Please don't. Don't leave valuables. I mean, I walked when I was working South Precinct years ago, there was a club over there. I walked in the parking lot. There was allowed guns in the club, but I walked the parking lot. And I could have taken 10 guns that night. 10 guns. Folks are walking around looking for stuff. If you leave your valuables or something in your vehicle that somebody sees, they break in and take whatever it is. Sometimes it's you have and they may do that if they can't see in the vehicle. But I'm saying one way to help prevent is don't have things that are visible. If it is tinted windows and they can't see in, sometimes they'll break them just to see what's in there. You can't prevent everything. You can try, but also if you have cameras, if you're downtown, if you have cameras on your loft or whatever, you can also sign up with the police department, get those transferred to real-time crime source. So you can call in and say, there's somebody doing something, we can go real time and see that. Can't be everywhere at once. Folks also have to report these. A lot of times we show up where these cars have broken windows. We can't find the person whose windows were broken. So we can't write a report on a car with a broken window because that's not illegal. We don't know if somebody broke in there or somewhere else. We can see glass there sometimes. We still try to find the person, but a lot of folks will come out to their car and go, I don't feel like dealing with it. Nothing was stolen. I'll just put my window fixed and forget about it. And they don't report it. Don't report it. And you don't know about it. We get that a lot. We'll have officers go and put orange stickers or a case card or something on the front of somebody's car, call us if you've had anything missing, but we can't just write reports because on somebody's vehicle, because we don't know you could have broken your window out when you shut the door. It's unlikely, but it has happened. So we just have to have cooperation. If you see something, say something. We've got officers out here working all day, all night. They're always out here, they're going around. See something suspicious, call us. If you, I'm 911 doesn't go through something. You can call us 2860 to 254 2860, which is precinct. Sometimes that may be a faster way to get through. There's always somebody at the front desk, unless they're on the phone taking a report. They'll answer the phone and they can get over to the dispatcher to put that information out. And also, if you see something, please give us as much information as you can. Clothing description, tennis shoes, blue jeans, t-shirt, color, hair, anything that you see that we can recognize that person, because we get a lot of folks who call and say, it's a male, he's wearing black pants and a white shirt. But when you go down that street, there's 15 males wearing a white t-shirt, black jeans, and we don't know exactly who to go and approach. So anything you can do to help us, we greatly appreciate that we're out there, that the officers out there every day, every night. And, like I said, we are working on getting that fight control, but out later in the evening, try for something.
To change the subject, my question is to vandalism. It's vandalism in the sense of spray painting there. And I understand that they finally found the IG, whatever it is. But his stuff is still all over all these buildings downtown. What is restitution? Why is he not out there scrubbing them?
That, I don't know, that would be up to the judge or city of Birmingham, you have to ask that. Police department don't have any part in that. If somebody, if we catch them, we take them down, and the judge decides to take after that based on what we get them. The judge may tell them to clean it, the judge may tell them it's time to jail, or whatever the judge decides. That would be a police department, which you could contact the city of Birmingham and actually what's going on with that. Also report to 311, any that you see some of the graffiti, report.
Glad you used the term graffiti, because I have had people from downtown tell me it's street art. And until they own that building.
Right.
Until I give them permission to paint the building, it's graffiti or if it's vandalism.
Right. And that's like I said, we support, that's happening, we see it, especially for property, that's the other thing, is a lot of times, see something, we have to go after the person who owns the building, was named for us. A lot of times, it's already, it's the corporation, they're running Amazon, try to get somebody from Amazon to come out and say, hey, you're following. Please, they don't bring something themselves.
But it's all the way down underneath the freeway and they get every power line. Not all, but changes that all the way down. And if they find him, why is he not out there scrubbing?
That would be a question for the judge, that'd be a great thing to suggest. That.
I have one more question. I
Yes.
hope you can stay later so we have this questions we can ask you. I know that we are all very frustrated. I'm right there with you about calling about the noise, calling about the drivers, calling about their cars getting broken into. It's been like when we call on non-emergent room, is that report? Is somebody make a list of that? Is that turned into somebody? If we know that 20 people call Saturday night about the nightclub music or either the loud motorcycle.
All the lines that go into the Birmingham Police Department are. So if they're going into the non-emergency, it should be reported, there should be a record of the law.
This weekend there, I saw it on our downtown or social group that we have for people that on Facebook. Is that I know it was a celebration for the Latinos of some kind of holiday, and they did it last year at Central, and I think there was some confusion that that group got mixed up with people turning the tail stands and doing all that, and then the guy that initially posted came back and said that it wasn't them. But in the meantime, one of our neighbors said, instead of calling the non-emergency, call 911. Please don't do that. If it was your family member in an emergency and somebody's worried about a bunch of trucks driving down 20th Street with blacks in it, and you've got somebody in a car accident or a cardiovascular attack, we don't want to be responsible for that. And that is not how we are supposed to report. We call the non-emergent number, but if it's an emergency, by all means, do call 911, but that is not our backup number to call. Am I correct?
Yes. It's that a lot of times they put on, whenever a lot of folks call in about the stuff that's non-essential, we get all of the dispatch title. And then I personally have put on all of that.
We got one.
We believe in what happened. It's made out. Yes, no.
We're gonna take one more question, guys.
What do you do about all the illegal park? So the biggest thing is if you see it, let us know, because there is, like, during the day, at night, there's all that support. But during the day, they have based out of South Precinct, they have a parking enforcement unit, and you'll see them riding around with that, it's permanent parking enforcement. They do have yellow, I think there's still yellow lights on their vehicles, and they go through, and if you're having an issue somewhere, report that, to the North Precinct, or you can call it up to that, we call 254-2000, and that's the parking enforcement, and they can go ahead and send somebody down, especially if you're seeing it like every day, they're blocking the same spots. I'll let them know, and they can send one of their patrols, instead of patrolling 5 points, they can move them down here and or north side, they can, wherever we need. We can move them to that area and get the parking straight down. Right now, no, they only work, right now, they only have this seven. That I'm not in control of, but we have police officers. If you call it without emergency, we can send a police officer out to see what's going on.
Got one more question.
So there was this parade last week.
I don't know, I said last, this one, I was, yeah, I mentioned.
Not tonight. Got calls about it, and officers came down to break up the parade and tell folks to go, they have to leave. But the biggest issue with that is you're not able to take it and stop an entire, that many vehicles, you can't stop every vehicle. On top of that night, it was also, I believe, Saturday night, which is when we have all people assaulted and random things, different clubs and stuff down, around the city. You have officers out on that. So the dispatcher call, they rank them by level of emergency. So if we got somebody first, they go to that first, and then they come back, because we try to stop that, but like some of the stuff, sometimes it does get pushed back the line because it can. It does take, but things like this. But we do try to send we get calls. Because if you're calling, guaranteed, I'm bothering you and bothering 10 other people, and we'll take all the time.
Good.
So, yeah.
I have one more question. How many police, in the police department, how many vacancies do we have? As far as officers?
I don't have that number, but statistically nationwide right now, if you know anybody looking that wants to take this career, I don't know. We're out.
Well, I think we need to come together as a group, and we need to reach out to Carolyn Quinn, whoever we can, to represent us. You know, we've got businesses hiring the people to patrol, but we need more officers, so that when you call, there's enough officers to do a, you know, head them off at the intersection, stuff, or come out with a car to broken. Just, you know, I wish there was something we could do.
Well, yeah, well, it's very difficult with policing in general right now. One of the biggest things you gotta understand is it's one of the only careers that you show up, ready to go to work, ready to do everything, but you're also putting everything you have right there. Family, your life, all of your assets, everything else. You come into work, you bring it all out the front desk, you come in and you go, I want to help folks, want to try to do the right thing. At any time. Incorrect, you made an error in policy, everything that you do. Up to it and including the life. Not a whole lot of people can sign up for it. Some folks want to sign up for it, for more than happy. We have your team, more people doing your team. They all try to do lives and enjoy it.
Thank you. I hope you'll hang out. And when I'm asking them, I'm trying to be supportive so we can get to know each other more.
I appreciate it.
Okay, if y'all have any questions, he's gonna hang around afterwards and you can ask. Okay, so, at this time, we're gonna go ahead and move to what we're gonna vote on, the voting for the, signage barracks in the Renaissance building. Thank you for coming.
Industries, and I'm representing them side. Take care of 2001 park place, there's two large ones in top of the wheel. Besides the access, also signage to update the look, so the branding is not accurate what they're having on their material. Everything they have to now, I think that's just a limitation. And so I've got some copies of, if there's individual that would be helpful if somebody wants to look at what we're proposing today. With the city, I'll show you copies of here anyway. So this is side of currently is. See there, and what we're looking for, update is this logo here on the corner, looks like a flag. It's gonna be about 6 feet taller and about 2 feet wide. That is what we're proposing to be in proportion to what their logo does represent. And then please present it to the camera. Okay. You know, maybe. Okay.
Here, you wanna,
Okay. Well, at least it's recorded.
this is section on.
No, it won't. So there's two things that's enlarging what I'll say is the logo box and then the underscore, which will be just a line underneath their name. That is the underscore. So the size of it is only going to increase about 7 feet in height, 2 feet wide, only on that logo portion of the box. Yeah, it's a drawing of what it looks like.
On the screen, here, on the screen.
Okay.
It's not gonna be spelled out.
We don't. There's a certain footage that you can have available for signage. So it exceeds that. That was a sign plan that was presented back, I think, in 2015. So what is currently there fits within the sign plan that was designed. Since then, the city has adjusted the code with that, so it's out of code with what we exist.
Anybody got any questions? I had one I asked him, it's out of his own, sure, I'll be on it. When we come over here, he said, no. It's a joke. All right.
We're aware of it.
Anybody got any questions about the signage proposal? Okay. Good. We'll have corn on. I'll send you in. Yeah, and just like who signed, who second, okay? Everybody everybody, or please raise your hand and give, Harrison time to stand up now. Okay, all four? Okay, anybody opposed? Okay, and next we're going to have our national friends coming. So the whole group coming out, or is it just you two or three? We can get started. Okay. They're not on our form. They're with.
platform or just?
So I'm going to this one.
Yeah, it is a touch screen, so.
I'm sorry.
See if we can.
Is it okay if I scroll through while she talks?
I mean, other than the part where my computer decides it wants to tell you about all the other great things you could be doing instead. There you go.
Wonderful.
My name is Lily Clamber, and I'm one of the Woodward Construction. We have been to consider approval for establish to go over our financial center building. We have two signs that we want to put up, one on the north elevation and then one on the east elevation.
And then we're
Um,
there. And what it wants to do. Right. Oh, I'll do this. Okay, perfect. Okay, there we go.
So this picture shows the signage for the east elevation. This is the side of the building that faces Richard Arrington Junior Boulevard. We are looking to put up a 7-foot tall, letter set. It is entirely aluminum, and it shines white. Is that exactly what we need? It's the financial center, the address is 5
Pretty much like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have the one that says the first place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So this next page is the same elevation of the building. It's the east elevation. This just shows you how it looks against the sky and look at the building in the background. And then that is just a close-up picture with the building, dimensions, and the side dimensions listed as well.
Okay, that's all for your ease.
So the next one is the north elevation, and the north elevation faces the women. Yes, so this is where we would like to put the sign down here. That's just the part of the building from visibility.
And here's what it looks like right now.
And there's not to go.
Okay.
And then this is the, I'm so sorry.
Does it say financial center?
No, there is no signage up there at all. And then this picture is just a picture a little bit farther back. Sign building. This one's a little bit closer up. It's got the dimensions of the building and the dimensions of the signage. Both proposed letter sets are the same size on both sides of the building. And this should are some pictures of how the building looks now. And these are the same pictures, just with the sign location.
Here with the red.
I'll probably be allowed in either side.
And we have it for top.
First thing, do you all have anything that you would like to say? Everybody make sure they're ready so much. Over Michael, we're gonna talk about the singers, too. We're gonna talk about what that is, project version, posing presentation, so.
I do not. Oh, I do have the slides if you want me to pull those up. Just not the that's the I already have it from the other direction. And I went and did some fundraising, and we'll be doing a little just making, starting to look like walking in. We will be doing some kind of what we did with this one history refresh, similar to the executive summary. This could look like, and then hopefully, people come and listen to it. It's in no way going to be a. Yeah, this guy. Sure, there's always going to be. It can take 5 years. It's going to be roughly everything. It's going to be vacant. So let's at least have a little bit of cash flow from this fund. So, hopefully before the next neighborhood meeting, you'll start seeing some changes. So, we will be doing, work with the city for some permanent design. So you'll be seeing, some planters along the sidewalks. Taking that, the pollards that we're looking right there on First Avenue North, more on the other side of the river itself. Moving those back up, creating a roundabout with some planters, some new, better. We'll have that ready. Spaces off the street there. So you'll be able to do that in there. Some bistro singing on the bridge. And kind of some fun signage to get people to walk back and forth over there. That's picture of downtown on that bridge. So we'll have some fun signage on there. And so you'll just kind of see just a more approachable, fun. Let's enjoy that there. It's, again, not capable, but still going to be on. So we'll be doing some Chalk painting, something a little more permanent than that, something that can be removed. So we painting a bike path on there and a walking trail with some bollards. Again, trying to block that so no vehicles can go up there. And just let everyone kind of grab a glass of wine with Kelly and go sit on the beach for a bit and watch the sunset. Now, especially for the study, it's trying to figure out, we're gonna discourage having, a festival up there just because. Yeah. Yeah, but like, stuff like a yoga class, would be things like that. We want pedestrians to walk up there. We don't want to put equipment. We don't want to put, food trucks on there because that's just even what involved. So it's really pedestrian. Anything that we're moving up to this, we're looking at maybe some swings or something. We'll be doing with hand carts, pulling them up there, and all that. So no, there's not going to be this is a rentable space per se, like a rubber park, going to do a big festival up there. It's not going to be closed down, for, let's say, a private event, unless it's like, hey, it's like a rubber park. We'll do your birthday party up there. That'd be great. Come on, we'll set up. You have some chairs, you have some things up there. Just know, we don't want thousands of people up there and be responsible for everything. And that's working with the city on that. They're just kind of helping us out, making sure that everything we have is permitted, and that we'll just kind of look at it's going to be more organic, but it's going to take like just again, next 2, 3, 4 years along this.
Well, they continue to be able to Valley Park, like we're doing now, just walking out the handicap access.
Yeah, so that's a big part of it. So we want to keep an ADA on that. And so we are moving them back off of the street of First Ave. So our next way was we're going to create for them to be able to. So if someone calls from the Kelly, they can go down and not just have a block standard or kind of blocking where the bollards are. We created spots.
When you say 4 or 5 spots, is that where they're parking now?
No, it's going to be going up to the first.
Okay.
Yes. So we know that where the buildings are all there, that's still strong. It's underneath, it's got concrete underneath there. It's once it hits the bridge part and the bridge. So those first probably 100 meters or less than that, we'll have some spots.
And that the city of Birmingham or what's
That's not, it's not what they asked, it's not what they asked for either. So kind of told them this.
We did not, everybody, and Christine Arden with the Department of Transportation, we did not design this installation around their wants and needs. We designed it looking at all of the services that we needed to provide for the neighborhood. So yeah, there is a spot for some staging for ballet, but there's also, spots for loading and unloading. There will not be parking. It is not we're not building parking. We're building service-oriented spaces, places for people. And it is a partnership between our department and our staff is going to be out there doing a lot of the tracking work and we've already done all the grinding of the existing tracking and working on the planting plans and the city greenhouse is planting plans for all the planters, maybe 11 feet plants. So yeah, it's gonna be great.
If you want to come meet with us, we'll be out for meeting. Let's try to meet a bridge, which is very good. We'll be out there. Just about.
But they parked their buses in front of our building 3.5 hours. And all the cars that were parked along there couldn't get out unless they were going to change them all. And they didn't come to us and say, hey, we're going to permit a party on your 22nd Street Bridge and shut it down. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking these questions, because there's going to be stuff going on. I think the neighborhood should be, if they're going to park a bus in front of my building for 3.5 hours, I need.
Got one more, that is not a part of the committee process. When someone comes to us for a permit for that, blocking access to parking and building access is not part of it. So, what's the official contact, it's name like that, it's who meeting, that was right to.
All four of them.
So it's provided.
That is one tiny little piece of the project. The drawing, if you wanna, the drawing.
This is the fourth.
Oh, that's the fourth. We have the drawing, or we can email it to you guys.
What do you know about? So, yeah, I know that's a point of contention with a lot. That was not a part of the design for helping it in necessarily in the sense. It was, it's gonna be an open space. It's not,
That's the purpose of this.
it's not purpose.
It was to help. It was to help facilitate what is happening in that space already.
Yeah.
To provide a little bit of spot for Valley staging, not Valley parking. And then the rest of the stuff is focused on pedestrian access, plantings, making the space more vibrant or usable, to keep not for cars.
What's the difference between?
Well, that would be like you pull your car in, Valley pulls it in, or the person and the person gets in and they drive off. It's not a parking spot. You park for a couple hours.
But being talking to me, you got a lot of these. I talked about it.
County still has a, if I'm not mistaken, they have a relationship or contract with a parking deck. Ballet or parts two. This would be like where you go, well, that's the part. Yeah. But we can talk offline about this stuff. But they're not charging someone $20 to go a car and spot.
When you're saying ballet, you mean drop off, pick up.
Yeah, it's a drop off.
I'm assuming that ballet people from the Cali, I see them in the one about walking, running from Cali around the city.
It's a drop off, it's a loading zone, if you will.
And I think when I approached this, I got a lot of calls and things about the private parties that they had that blocked that, crossover the railroad tracks on, what's it, 22nd. I got that. I did try to research it. I'm sorry, but I was told that they were given a permit, a lady that does that private party. And she's out of my picture because she got what she wanted to have at the party. But my concern was why somebody from the city did not have sent me an email on one day that week and said, hey, that's gonna be covered. Because I mean, I got 300 people that I emailed in our neighborhood. And we are a neighborhood. We're gonna have to start getting, people gonna have to acknowledge, you don't go to Mountain Brook and other places, and close down the thoroughfare for a private party like that. Okay, I don't care what is wrong. You don't do that. And until I've invested money to live downtown, and so with my neighbors, we are a neighborhood. Am I right, folks? And we're tired of it. We're tired of not getting recognized. So, and I'm passionate about it because my Saturday with my sick mom was blowing up by phone calls about this party so people can go there on their white dress and have a great time when the businesses that are downtown that help us with their taxes, the parties they bring in, people couldn't come over to get to the wine walk and the businesses on that thoroughfare. People happen, that is closed down without notification and I'm the only person they have to email. I can hit it, Anna can hit it, we send it to 300 people, they're notified. But just, you know,
I can all agree with that. It's not able to work.
yeah, and
So it was not the issue from it. Personally, that I think it was not the best choice for an event.
so we just want to make sure in the future that does not happen. We're like the, and I'm done, talking about it soon, I know you're done with me covering of that.
No,
And, you know, we just have to get, you know, as much as we want all the businesses, we want them to know that we're a neighborhood. And, you know, we're just like living out in burbs, except for we live in Washington County. And we're gonna have to get that.
Oh, man. You know, just fine.
Okay.
So one quick thing to add to the bridge point before that is the feasibility study is only going to. So we need to, we have yearly, monthly inspections looking at structural issues related to the bridge, but we really need a feasibility study to understand if the bridge can be rehabbed for the purpose of using it for pedestrians. Is it rehabbable for reopening car traffic, or is it a rebuild when we talk about opening it to car traffic? So that is the thing that we'll be looking at, and we'll have that study done, you know, in the next 6 months. And then that's what we'll be able to utilize to go and figure out how to or what it is. So this is actually the most fun and exciting thing to talk about. So we'll end on a fun note. So as a lot of you guys are probably aware, there's a lot of federal transportation money out there up for grabs, and all these programs are flush with federal dollars, and so the city is really making an effort to go after some of this money. So we've already secured a $1 million Navy grant related to our transportation system for the city. We've secured a $21 million raise grant that will convert 16th Street and an east-west corridor out to Legion Field into an urban trail on Big Street. So those are two projects that we've been awarded. And so I decided, why not? Let's look for the next one. And so this is a reconnecting neighborhood funding program. And so what you guys see, there's that. So there's the corridor we're looking at. We're looking at 4th Avenue North from 24th Street, where it goes at the USPS, over to 9th Street North, where actually 4th Avenue turns back into a two-way street. And so we're looking at converting the street from a one-way back to a two-way street. You know, there's a lot of benefits that come along with converting a street from one-way travel to two-way travel. This road was two-way up until about the 1970s, and it was converted to one-way traffic. And what we find with one-way streets is that, you know, cars move at a lot quicker speeds. It's not as enjoyable for pedestrians. People are not slowing down and stopping and shopping at businesses. And so we have a lot of one-way streets in downtown Birmingham, and we know that over time, we're going to be looking at a lot of these streets and looking at converting them. And 4th Avenue North is the street that we would like to start with. It makes the most sense, just based on where it's located and how it begins and ends. And so I'm here tonight to talk to you a little bit about the project. I did bring in the notes, some of the design concerns and questions that you guys have. And so what I'd like to say is we are at a 10% design phase right now. So we did a 10% design in order to generate the cost estimate for the project. So we knew how much money we needed to go and ask USDOT for. So if we get funded, then we'll have robust stakeholder engagement meetings and design input meetings. And so everybody will have a voice about how the streets are designed and, you know, what the planners look like, and, you know, all these kinds of things. And so we're just really at the very beginning stages of that, just enough so that we can put together the project package, go and secure the funding. And so I think I'll pause and like take some questions, and then we can keep talking about the project if you guys have other things you want to ask. So, oh yeah, questions. Okay, yes, sir.
Question, but can you
So when you say synchronize, you mean have them all lined up so someone has a straight shot out of town? Okay, so there's two answers to that question. One, to be honest, the goals that our department are trying to achieve downtown are not to have fast moving vehicles at our city center. Because it diminishes the enjoyableness of walking along the side of the street if the car is flying 40 to 50 miles an hour by you on these one-way streets. That being said, we do have the capability to have on some blocks, some of our signal systems are older and aging and they're not all digitally connected and online the way that they could be. And so we do have capabilities on some blocks to do that. But I will say that we're probably less interested in doing that because we would rather cars be going slow. Yes, sir.
Would that be a police function or a study probably? The whole traffic, especially low generation, saving. I don't call it. Waste of these. Thank you. Even let's put
Sure. Sure. So he's asking, couldn't slowing cars down be a function of the police, you know, and writing tickets and sure, yes. Speed limit currently is 35 downtown. We would like to change it to 25. That's one of our needs. And so yeah, and he's concerned about idling cars at traffic lights and contributing to air pollution and everything. And so, yeah, there's a delicate balancing act when you look at juggling environmental concerns, safety concerns, all of those things. And what I would say is, especially let's bring it back to Fourth Avenue. You know, we have several signalized intersections right now on Fourth Avenue that we're probably going to pull the signals out and make them four-way stops. You know, and so a lot of the, and not every block, but, you know, there's a lot of things you can do, you know, when looking at the system as a whole to make things safer, cleaner, all these kind of things. So, I can't speak to the police enforcement piece of it, but as we've heard tonight, they're pretty strapped for resources. And to be honest, I don't know if speeding tickets are top on their list of priorities. And that's what they would make, because I know there's other stuff going on. So, yes, sir. They do. So we've had a series of stakeholder meetings. We've met with the Fourth Avenue Business District. We've met with the Civil Rights Stakeholder Group. And we've got great support. Urban Impact has been helping us communicate with those leaders. Brad Birmingham has been part of our project team. And so, I think everybody's anxious to know what it looks like, and but we're not there yet, you know, and it'll be a really fun process to go through that design together and figure out what design it should be. Probably wouldn't do that from a traffic and transportation standpoint. That causes more safety issues than not having a car pull out unless you did reverse parallel parking. I don't know if our city's ready for that, but it's probably going to remain parallel parking. Sure. Yeah, that's what it is. Here's the show last, but I know there will be one.
introduce yourself?
Hello, good morning. I talked to them as a social worker from the I'm not trying to use Sheba, Lynn Blanchard. I'm standing before you today. I'm a candidate for probation place on Jefferson County. And I just wanted to engage you on my campaign. My paralegal is here to take out information cards. I am a practicing attorney here in Birmingham, been practicing for almost 10 years. I'm one of the mother, grandmother. I sit periodically to the bench when judges are out sick, so special court judge, district court judge, and circuit court judge. I'm on for, like I said, for almost a decade. I do a lot of work in probate court. Also do a lot of civil cases, federal cases, and I champion for veterans as well. I have stepped out on faith to run for the office of probate judge place one, and I'm asking for your support. A lot of individuals, Jefferson County residents don't know what probate court is. So I'm not gonna hold you wrong, but I do want to give you some input on what probate judges do. That judge wears two hats. It's a bench hat that he or she wears, and it's also a chief election official hat that judge wears. And so as that judge is sitting in that seat, I will be making decisions on the bench based on wills, probated wills, the opening of the state, guardianship, conservatorship cases, protected person cases, adoptions, and member commitments. On the election side will be the chief election official. That means that I will be in control of all the elections. There's some concerns, in my opinion, with elections. There's a suppression of the vote, in my opinion. Three pillars of my campaign for the election side is making sure there's voters education and voter awareness. Also making sure that there is efficiency on the bench. And then lastly, making sure that all votes count. And so with the three pillars, you may say, "Sounds like your office hour meeting." I just want to make sure that the docket is not clogged up and make sure that cases are being heard before me and people are not waiting years to have their probate cases heard. Because after death, when you're probating a will, you want that stuff to kind of move fast. In regards to voters education, I want to make sure that all the residents in Jefferson County are familiar with the voter registration process, also with absentee voting, the absentee voting process. And then sometimes when we have these elections, we get these weird amendments where no one understands them. And so I want to bring understanding to those amendments. And so what I'm asking is for your support and asking you on March 5th, 2024 to bet on Blanchard. Thank you so much. Thank you, Donna. Yes, thank you for letting me do this.
Anybody have any questions? Okay, all right, so I think, next we're gonna bring up, Councilor Quinn and Marisha. I haven't skipped things on that. Nope. Does anybody have any questions before we move on to this one? And I'm sorry that we're going over, but we just had some stuff we needed to discuss. Thank you.
I won't be long. First thing I want to tell you is lots of conversation going on about parking in the city of Birmingham, especially downtown. We passed a major milestone last week and amending the city's ordinances that pertain to the operation of private parking lots and how towing enforcement is executed on those private lots. That's not the end of the story there, so stay tuned. You know, there's some long-standing grievances that we're trying to also address in that arena, but it's going to take place via a different path. So that's not vague enough for you. I'll talk to you on a side conversation. But along the lines of parking, one of the things that the Department of Transportation is going to be doing starting next week and into the month of October is having a series of conversations in the community, about having parking across the city. So, most of the city of Birmingham, has some sort of parking minimums that are required, that are attached to however you use the piece of property. So if you have, you know, a church, you're in a residential neighborhood, you have to have a certain number of parking spaces based on your square footage of your building. You know, the same for a law office and so on and so forth. And there's all these really complicated tables in our zoning code that spell that out. The Department of Transportation, is interested in moving away from that kind of antiquated model, because what it's done is over the course of time has, really changed our infrastructure. So we have a lot of space that is designated, both on public property and on private property that serves no other purpose than for the storage of vehicles. And we want to see more infill development, more space that is, for, you know, new businesses and, you know, new amenities. And it's not strictly designated for the storage of vehicles that, you know, only are being used maybe 15% of the day. So that's a very brief synopsis of what these conversations are about. So September 25th, October 5th, October 10th, October 16th, and I believe two of these are webinars, so you can tune into them online. And but I definitely encourage you to especially the folks in Central City, to tune into that. Most of Central City does not have a parking minimum requirement, but I do believe there's still some parts of Central City that do. So, you guys got something to say about this, for sure. And value your input. Anything else? I was asked to talk about the guy that beats on the buckets, on 20th Street, Fairmont. So apparently this individual has claimed that he has a permit, but it is not true. The city does not have any kind of permit for street performers, buskers, whatever you want to call them. So, basically comes down to if there's a justifiable noise complaint, then Birmingham Police Department has the capacity to address that issue. The bottom line is he's not in any way permitted to be, no permit. He claims it's mad.
Same like today, researching the travel point. So, which is, and it started 3 weeks ago. One of the neighbors called the police came down. I'm just gonna make it real quick. That he told them he had a permit, and then they also called CATS to report it. The CATS told him that they had a permit. So I called Franklin and left him a voicemail like, how does your CATS people know that this guy has a permit? I couldn't find out if his business has a permit when I called. So obviously he does not, but the police arrived, and then you've got Paramount who was telling him don't harass him. And remember that Paramount restaurant is telling him don't harass this guy or the homeless guy sitting out in front, maybe, which would take away the business. But anyway, so I think there's been some issues there because neighbors have asked him to leave, and he's perched outside of his business. Who, if they want to leave him there, then it's probably going to affect their business, I would think, because it gets me a headache and I'm 2 blocks away. But the fact that I think part of the problem is when you call, there's been no direct, how do people know? Because permits from dump. And Mike and I talked about this today, so I don't remember, I talked about this, like this, and Captain thinks do too. Is if you call about food truck, or you call about any of these complaints we've had, that y'all been blowing my phones up, and it's okay that you do that, because I want to get the answer too. Is like, if I get pulled over by the police, and they say, show me your license, or my permit, if I have a permit, and I can't do it, then they are to be told to move on. Because obviously they don't have a legit coverage to be there. And if they had it, they should have it in their food truck, post it for you to see. Or so, it's gonna argue this, so there are certain city departments. Guys, we can do that. It's a slew of permits that complete. Or they are required to do their permit and building permits, yeah, when the front of the building. Yeah, yeah, definitely, and not, construction had it listed in the truck. I'm sorry, I missed it. Yeah, is that, okay, this week when I emailed you about, from Jasper about food truck park before that, actually, fall between me and what used to be called the mall, and it sounded like they've been blowing the wings out. I sent you the name of it today. Yeah, I sent it to you because I just had to come off. Well, I had to wait and find out who it was. I had to take a picture that day. The officer came and he went and talked to it. And I told him, look, I'm about to order some items because I'm starting from it, but I've gotten all these complaints. So he goes and asks, do you have a license? They said, yes. Did they have that license with them? No, he did not know where to get it. So part of that is if you call the police and they go and they say, you don't have a license, they can't show it. Captain Hank said they can be told to do them and they have to have.
So amongst, yes, and I will say that amongst the things that are forthcoming, this council is working with the office of the city attorney. There's revisions to the truck ordinance. It's in the queue. I think short-term rentals is going to come up first, but the food truck ordinance and making revisions to that is, definitely will come into place.
And I want to know about the revisions, just a quick question. Is there going to be a shut off time on these trucks? Yeah. 2 a.m. So the food trucks can park under early, that's 2 a.m. if they're not generated. You can, right? Yeah, because we built that food truck port over here and.
I agree with personal opinion.
It's a residential.
There needs to be in the food truck ordinance a very specific requirement on the relates to the food trucks and generate. Those generators are obnoxious. They always have personal conflict because want to enjoy the food. But the generators, I don't care where they are, out in the countryside, the generators is so freaking obnoxious. I'm with you 100%.
So what the deal between, I got freeway ones, 29th and 28th, residential makes up that block. Got permits from that, so change. But, people have to get out and have to work and give them permission. And I don't know who's on that, who's making these rules, but there is specific in the ordinance, the issue is. Because they're gonna get million calls on all this, but anyway, that is something to me, it's got to be addressed, and just saying, did you agree with us? You just let that be put in there, is leaving all of us, it's leaving us for a heartache. Okay. All right.
Any questions? Well, we are still doing a survey of the Central City neighborhood for missing empty tree wells. I have maps here of our current progress. If anyone wants one, so they can walk around the area. So,
mark where we are missing trees. I have plenty of copies, and I'm willing to take any inputs you have. We have a digital copy of the map up online that, the neighborhood association should have sent out, so you can also see it online. I think we're up to around 60 missing trees right now. But, hopefully, we can, wrap this up and start looking for someone that can, get trees we can use. So, you want, ready to adjourn?
Did we get everybody covered? Does anybody got any questions before we go? I'm sorry, the number, trying to keep it, saying it's still not for you. Any questions, anything? Yes, so adjournment, come on.
Motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Second? Those in favor? Opposed? Thanks. Thank you very much.